Today I'm going to talk about an old master who I knew quite well. He was born in Japan in 1935, and I met him in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Karate Club when I was 18 years old. His name is Master Keinosuke Enoeda, Sensei Enoeda. He was the assistant instructor at that club when I began my martial arts training. I think it was in the mid-1960s. I still remember him because of the strength of his body, the power of his movements. One thing that I remember more than others is his spirit shout. In karate, it's called a kiai. It's an expulsion of breath from this part of the body. Its intention is to augment the strength of a technique, to startle an opponent, to concentrate, to focus the mind. He had a shout like a lion's roar. I remember thinking the night I first heard him perform on the dojo, I thought I couldn't stand in front of the voice, let alone the punch, and he was known for his punch. I think he was known to have the strongest punch in Japan. So when I got out on the dojo that evening, and we were practicing yakuzuki, which is reverse punch, which is like a boxer's right cross. It's done in a forward stance. Everything's relaxed. The motion, feet are rooted, and the motion is from here to here. So it's, you sink into the floor, but there's one more element of this, and that's the element that so impressed me with Master Enoeda, and that is the release of breath with the punch, the kiai. So when we all stood out there, and I was told the word was kiai, I was going, kiai, kiai, kiai. Now, Master Enoeda would walk between students, and he got to me, and he goes, kiai, what are you doing? I go, kiai. He goes, no, kiai means shout. Shout can be anything. It can be any noise, yip, yip, but must come from here. And he put his hand right below my belly button. He said, this connects the body, the feet, the arms, the hands. This connects. He said, the muscles must lift. He said, this must lift. Kiai can be just, yip. So I did it. At first I was a little inhibited because I thought, it was a lot of noise, but it felt good and it felt strong. It was, yip. And then I felt down here like a pinch, a lifting. My stomach lifted, and it did feel powerful. In later years, as I started to study breath, I realized what we were doing. It's a forced exhalation. The pinching I felt, the tightness, was my pelvic floor. What the pelvic floor does is join the front of the body to the rear of the body, and it gives a stability. So of course, you're going to stabilize your movement. The lift of the abdomen, contracting, adds strength to the forward momentum as the diaphragm flattens. So what Sensei Enoeda was teaching me was a complete diaphragmatic breath using the pelvic floor in a forced exhalation. I have carried that movement with me through other exercises. If it works like that, it'll work with a pushing motion with a barbell or a pushing motion with a push-up. Sensei Enoeda ended up being the head of the Karate Union of Great Britain and most of Europe. And I still remember him very, very well, and I remember that night. And thanks, Sensei Enoeda.